don't think people should be running behind trends. People should be running behind. If anybody who is aspiring to do engineering, BBA or a BCA, MCA or engineering should start focusing on. Everybody is talking about AI replacing entry-level jobs, right? That is definitely going to happen.
Hello everyone, welcome to today's episode. In current world, students keep on asking a lot of questions. Is degree important, or whether the skills is important? Can I do online courses? Can I have a degree from any XYZ colleges? There are a lot of questions here and there. Now, many students keep on asking such kind of questions here and there. Let's today dive in deep of such questions. Let's talk about educations. Let's talk about career building. Let's talk about online courses and all of this. To help me in these kinds of conversations, we have a very special one who is a leading entrepreneur who has changed the career of approximately or more than 2 lakh students, a well-known personality development specialist, an industrialist, and I can say a number of. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Renjit Keshav.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Samarth, for having me.
Thank you so much for being here, sir. Amidst your busy schedule, you have given your time for this kind of a talk, sir. From a leading inside a job guru, or it might be ISQ training institute, you have dealt with a lot of corporates, industry. You have seen the education part or a student part closely evolving throughout these years. So at this moment, I would insist to please share us your some experience, and I would throw some questions on regarding all these things which we have discussed right now.
Sure.
So I'd be grateful to sit here and ask you some questions relating to the same.
Sure. Just to give a preface to your viewers, I'm running a EdTech organization primarily into employability skill development for engineering, MBA, arts and science students. We have been operational for the last 17 years.
Okay.
Based out of Kerala, down south, Trivandrum, but we are also operational in Mangalore, Karnataka. Okay. We work with a few colleges here. And so we have been in this industry for 17 years. We have worked with more than 100 colleges. We have worked with campuses like IIT Bhubaneswar, National Institute of Technology, Calicut, Surathkal,
yes.
Your hometown.
Yes.
Yeah. So we have this extensive experience of working with more than 2 lakh students. But of course, as you rightly said before the shoot, the landscape is changing.
Yes.
And precisely the reason why we are here to discuss the changing landscape and the disruptive aspirations and ambitions of youngsters. Yeah.
So, as the talk continues, just I want to start with an abrupt question recently. Is a degree very important recent days, or is it I keep listening about skills are very important. So how is your take on this, sir? Is degree very important today, or is it skills? What do you think? What's your point of view on it?
See, it again depends upon how you understand what degree is all about. Mm-hmm. So for example, somebody like a millennial, I'm called a millennial because I'm born in the 80s. So yeah, correct. So both of us share the same disappointment or the happiness as life would have it. But I think in our times, the meaning of degree was very different. Mm-hmm. It was rather a source to find an occupation or a profession, so that we could get both the ends meet. And we can probably get married and settle down and find a house down the line.
I agree.
So it was more or less like that. So I think everything depends upon what exactly is the meaning of degree. For example, a Gen Z might have a different sort of a meaning. An Alpha Gen Z or a Gen whatever it is could have a different meaning, right? I think in today's landscape, for me, a degree is not just about education. A degree is also about teamwork and collaboration. Okay. A degree is also about problem solving. Degree is also about taking initiatives. Degree is also about managing different tasks, time management. So is again, these are not the sort of requirements that industries or corporates had when we were in college. Right? But these days that is not the case. People are thinking beyond academics all the time. So I think the idea of degree has totally changed.
Okay.
It has gone beyond just imparting an educational credential in a particular domain or a stream.
Okay.
I think it also comes with the idea of whatever I said earlier. And I think if you want to improve on those things, improve on the competencies of time management, problem solving, teamwork, along with that, you want to have a very strong academic foundation, then I think you definitely
Just
need.
to sum up with yes or no, do you think a day will come where the term skill would overtake fancy degrees?
The term fancy, definitely, but not the term degree.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Because there are still institutions who are absolutely committed to the idea of whatever I said earlier, right? A combination of your
Right.
soft skill competencies and your educational credentials. I think as far as those committed organizations are there in the system, I don't think it will ever surpass the idea.
Continuing, just to changing a little pace of the question here, so do you think the skills only cannot replace a degree? Am I correct on this line? The skills cannot replace degree?
No, it cannot. See, skills matters. See, a degree would just give you an entry, into an organization,
Okay.
or wherever it is intended to, right? But beyond that, I think what really matters is skills, and I seriously believe that it can only coexist.
Okay.
It can only coexist.
Right.
I don't think one can live without the other. Maybe some of the edtech companies, because of their vested interest, or certain individuals because of the vested interest, they can go and lure youngsters by saying that you don't need a formal, structured sort of an education. But let's look at it from the other angle, Samarth. You still go and work with a company like Google or a Meta,
Correct.
or matter of fact, any company, right? There is a structure there. You have to log in at 9 o'clock, right?
Correct.
I mean, there are tasks.
Correct.
There is a timeline to everything. There are KRAs.
Correct.
Right? For example, if I'm studying in an MBA college, my KRA could be submitting the assignments and records, right?
Right.
Yeah, so I think that structure, the framework is very, very important when you work in an organization, and I think that is what it teaches you, when you're part of a college.
The reason why I asked this question was recently I met a 12th standard boy, a Pew guy who just recently finished. Now I asked him, what's your future plans? He said there are a lot of online courses. And he quoted some forums also. He said a lot of online courses. Why degree when an online courses can give all the skills or something like that? So do you think is online course is much more enough for today's competitive world?
See, online courses does have its advantages. We cannot deny that fact. For example, if somebody who is in Mangalore would like to listen to a lecture by a professor who works in the Harvard.
Correct.
I don't have the IQ, the competency, to get into an institute like Harvard. But still, if I want to access his wisdom or his
Correct.
ideas,
Correct.
then I think online is a great medium, right?
Correct.
And online gives me the flexibility also. If I can learn anything, I'm not restricted with a particular university syllabus.
Correct.
Right? I mean, if I want to go and learn design thinking, being an MBA first year student,
Correct.
I can just go and type design thinking and I can do a certification in that. There is nothing wrong in doing that, right? But the problem is I can do the same with swimming also. I can go to a particular certification platform and learn swimming. That platform will be generous enough to give me a certificate saying that I'm a swimmer. I can even become a diver. But then does the buck stop there? No,
That's not an actual swimming, right?
Yeah, correct. So I have to, at the end of the day, go down and show people that I can swim. So unless and until you are able to demonstrate your skills, nobody is going to believe you. So for example, see, we are in that sort of an ecosystem right now with so much of competitiveness, with so much of resource supply, with so much of economic growth. We are in that stage where people would like to believe what we show them and not what we tell them. Correct? So an online certification program is a great value addition if you want to get your fundamental understanding in any domain that you want. But beyond that, if you really want that certification to add any value, correct, then you have to do projects.
Okay.
right? I mean, you have to have some internships, right? You have to.
We will talk about the internship in upcoming questions of mine.
And I believe that for you to make that informed decision of what you want to do as part of your online certification, a broader understanding of that domain through a degree will always help you.
Oh, okay.
So for example, if I'm doing MBA and I'm suppose I'm specializing in HR, and HR has got various domains. For example, compensation and benefit is there. For example, recruitment, talent acquisition is there. L&D is there. Operations is there. Now, when academics gives me that broader understanding of HR, it helps me to go and narrow down on something that I want to go and learn as part of my certification. So as I said earlier, it can only coexist. You cannot just rely only on online certifications and believe that it is going to solve all your problems. No, I don't think so.
So as we have seen training and development very closely, now let's talk from an employer point of view. A guy with a degree and guy without a degree with only certification courses. Now who do you think would have a strong career path?
See, again, this is $1 million question. Correct. So recently also I was working in a campus where we did the training for a first year engineering batch, and one of the brightest kids that I've ever seen in my career.
Okay.
I spotted him and I was very, very happy with the kid. I even went and told the principal that this guy will change the face of your campus, etc., etc. I went back to the campus after 6 months and the boy is not there. He has quit the campus and he doesn't want to do his graduation, because he thinks that his skills are good enough for him to get to whatever he wants in life. Now, so we had this discussion, right? And see, again, there are a lot of these sort of platforms, where people will come and say, okay, what if you have an arrear paper? What if you have a supplementary paper, right? I mean, what if you don't pass graduation? Skills will definitely get you a job. But at the end of the day, you need to go back and think about it. The conversation that I was having in the campus, I had a person who had worked with Infosys for 20 years.
Okay.
And he had quit and now he is doing consulting. He was also part of the conversation. And he said something fantastic, which I couldn't have agreed more. He said that it might just help you to find your first job. But then, if you want to grow up the rungs of the ladder, if you want to be part of big organizations, they will definitely expect graduation to be the minimum criteria. Minimum criteria. And that goes same across the world. Across the world, it is just the same. So you need that is your basic, right? To go and tell somebody that, hey, listen, you know what, I have been through this grinding for 4 years. Because an interview process is something where it's an indication of what I am in the future.
Agree.
So what will indicate that? Me sitting in front of a computer for 16 months doesn't indicate much beyond the skill part,
especially right? the peer skills, the personalities.
Correct. So I think it is a must. It is a must. And if there is anybody who's listening to this, you must just go and take the 10 biggest companies in India and tell me if they take any of their employees without a graduation, and we can rest this case.
I totally agree for the discussions.
Yeah, I mean, see, you take a company like TCS, the biggest, the recruiter in India till date, right? Especially for engineering kids. I don't think they take students without graduation. You take a company like Infosys, right? You take a company like IBM. They have their Global Capability Center, GCC centers here. You take any company, Ashok Leyland or Bajaj Auto or L&T. Tell me one company in India, like the known companies, where they take students without a graduation, and we can rest this case.
The bare minimum what required is a degree.
See, it just gives me. See, I'll add a point to this, right? So a student was recently asking me this question: why CGPAs are very important? Because it is also connected to degree, right?
Correct.
So why companies are asking for 7 CGPA, 6 CGPA? And I tell them that it shows your consistency with tasks. Because I give you a task, you have been consistent with it for 8 semesters. Your value system,
the efforts that a student put across,
and more importantly, in those 4 years, see why students at IIT and IIMs are paid these exorbitant salaries, because they trust these people with it. Why? Because they have consistently delivered, correct, through their good days and bad days.
I agree with that point.
Yeah.
We
Correct.
should.
Yeah, correct. If somebody is part of an IIT BTech program, right? 4 years, 8 semesters, just calculate it. That guy would have had his good days and bad days. He would have had probably a breakup. He would have sleepless night, anxiety, depression. He would have probably had jaundice, chicken pox, you name it. I'm sure that guy would have had it, right? But he delivered. So it's an indication for me that this person can deliver.
Just extending this conversation, can you just based on your experience, can you highlight few mistakes that we do as a self-learners?
Self-learners in the sense?
They just open up the computer, they see $499, digital marketer $599, that course, learn DevOps by yourself, lot of things. Then they think, I can do this, why should I go there? So what kind of mistakes these people do?
I think primarily, primarily the biggest mistake is to run behind trends. Some particular course is like a buzzword. Everybody wants to run behind that, right? So we are asking this question, is this course good? Is this particular domain good? I never ask this question, am I good enough for the domain? See, BMW is a great car, but am I a good enough driver to drive the BMW car?
That's a classic question.
Correct. So I don't think people should be running behind trends. People should be running behind those things where I naturally have, indigenously, I have my interest. I have the skill, right? I have the penchant to learn without being pushed or forced by anyone. I think that is the biggest mistake that I have seen with most of the people. Running behind trends, right? The second thing is, sometimes they have the organic, indigenous interest in doing something, but the curiosity ends there. No, It is a continuous learning, right? So you do your certification, you do your self-learning, and then probably you go out and you start. See, Samarth, you can only connect the dots.
Agreed.
You can only connect the dots, right? So you have to travel. So it's like a travel. And that travel is something where I always tell the students that you need to be fluid in terms of your learning.
Very true.
Yeah, you need to be flexible enough. You need to adapt to yourself, right? But the problem is students just stop there, because for them that one certification on the resume or that one certification JPEG on the LinkedIn is what solves all the problem for them. No, they should probably travel beyond that. Do some projects. Watch more of videos. Have some experiential learning, and then probably connect the dots. I see a lot of students attend our training programs, right? But not everybody gets employment. Everybody pays the money. Everybody puts in the effort. Students, who find the success are the ones who can actually connect the dots, and that is something you can never train anybody.
As I'm also a teacher, I sometimes see that the students who are a part of extracurricular activities sometimes aren't the top scorer of the classes. Sometimes there are some top scorer of the classes who are not there in any extracurricular activity or something. Somebody is a good chess player, somebody is a singer, somebody is a drummist, or a lot of other activities kind of here. Now the question is, as an employer, where would you trade off? Is it a too much good score with no extracurricular activities, or with lot of extracurricular activities with an average score? Where do you stand our discussion here?
See, being an academician, I'm sure you would have seen these 9-pointers walking out of campuses without jobs. I mean, we really don't have to sit down and have a debate or a discussion.
And I agree with that.
Based on
because there are a lot of people listening to this conversation, because whenever we say that, please be a part of extracurricular activity, they say, no, I have exam after a month now. No, I can't. I need to focus studies. What if I don't get 9 CGPA this time? What if I am not get recruited by XYZ company? I just wanted you to address this question.
I think see the whole idea of CGPA, that every student, every parent who is watching this video should understand that it is only your entry into the interview process.
Okay.
Now, beyond that, if I have to sit with somebody and I want to talk to that person for 40 minutes, what do I talk about? That is where the extracurricular activities, right? See,
I know.
I was having a conversation with a person from BCG, Boston Consulting Group, long back. And the person said, if a student is saying that I'm an MBA grad, What am I expecting? I'm just expecting what are the initiatives that this person has taken as part of MBA.
The projects and so
Correct. And what are the problems that this person has indeed solved? Correct. What are the skills that this person picked up during the MBA and how this person was able to demonstrate it?
Correct.
Now, if you want to showcase these things, you need co-curricular.
Or there's nothing for discussion.
Correct. Now, again, going back to the question that you asked, does online education give you this room, this space? Correct.
It's just you and your computer, nothing else.
Absolutely. So you need these things, right? So tomorrow no company relies on individuals anymore. Everything is a teamwork. Everything is a teamwork, right? I mean, a lot of parents like their kids to be homeschooled these days. With all due respect, you need to learn how to handle your success and your failure. Number one, you need to learn how to handle your success and failure when you are in a team. Personally, for me, Samarth, I think the reason why I'm able to run a company is definitely because of my leadership skill, and that is not something that I learned in the classroom. I learned that in the cricket field when I was part of my school. Correct. I mean, that is where I learned how to handle my success and my failure. Correct. Now, if you sit in front of a computer, if you're just focusing on your academics, I really don't know whether you will really be able to flex your wings.
How will they face the future? How will he face the success and failure? I understand that part.
See, a lot of parents who are homeschooling their kids, may not agree with what we are saying. But that's okay. That's a debate for another day.
Yes.
Still, but then they should also understand that education is beyond textbooks. Yeah.
Now, throughout the conversation, I get to know the degree is very important. But choosing a right college is also an important. Now, how is this? I mean,
100% Samarth. The thing is.
I what bare minimum things as a parent? I have a kid, and of course she is now in 6th standard. Yeah. But as I go ahead, what is that bare minimum I should look? Is it the only money should I look, or should I look at the brand, money? I don't know. Just could you throw some light on that? How should somebody select a college or something apart from degree?
I think we have reached that point in our lives where what you do matters. But from where you do also matters.
Agreed.
It does matter. It really does matter. Our universities have been very magnanimous enough to approve colleges in every nook and corner of the country. Right? I mean, I think you take MBA, there are more than 5,000 MBA colleges in the country. The state that I come from, I think we have around 100 plus.
Bangalore, hub of education.
Recently, somebody was saying that it is the soil of Bangalore that brings the idea of education in the minds of people. So, again, let me put it like this, Samarth. There is nothing wrong in a college asking for a certain fee or whatever it is, right? But justify.
Agree.
I think that is the word, right? Because recently I was reading an article where the article was so beautiful that the kids who are in the bottom 20% economic strata of the country, if they want to move into the top 20% economic strata of the country, there is only a 3% chance.
All the way.
Yeah, from the bottom 20% to the top 20%. So the chances are only 3%, right? Now there are different ways of getting there. And the most probable way of getting there is education. Okay. Correct. So for example, in IIT Delhi right now, I think Pulkit Kejriwal, who is the son of Arvind Kejriwal, yes, he is studying with Vijay Kumar. Vijay Kumar is the son of a tailor. He got through with IIT Delhi through the state government's entrance coaching program, and he is today studying with Pulkit Kejriwal, who is the son of an IIT and retired IRS not an IR, but the former IRS officer, former Delhi Chief Minister.
Yes.
Both of them are studying together. Now Vijay Kumar has an equal opportunity just like Pulkit Kejriwal, and that is what education does to people.
All that differences are gone.
Absolutely. Now the question is, how many of these institutional leaders actually understand this and run their business?
Okay.
So I think the onus is on the college, on these institutions to understand that people are coming here with a hope. They are coming here with a purpose. So what can we do beyond classrooms to help these kids reach where they want to reach, right? So it's there with the institution leaders. They need to start thinking about how we can find these differentiations.
I believe even the student fraternity should understand the classrooms is not just 9 to 4. It's beyond that also.
Definitely. See, but then they would only dedicate their time beyond 4 o'clock in those colleges who makes a genuine effort.
Agreed.
Genuine effort. See, it's a give and take, right? I mean, you cannot just clap only with one hand, as people say.
It's a teamwork.
It's a teamwork, right? So I think it is something that should come from both the ends. But I sincerely believe that if anybody who is aspiring to do engineering, anybody who is aspiring to do a BBA or a BCA, MCA or engineering, should start focusing on quality colleges. Now, quality is a very subjective term. We will come to that. But I think, it's very simple, Samarth. If you have to build a house, whom do you go to?
You don't for a qualified engineer.
You don't go to your uncle.
Very true. My uncle doesn't know how to build a home.
Correct. But your uncle knows which is the best engineering college in Bangalore.
He knows that.
Correct. See, he knows which is the best engineering college, or your dad's friend knows which is the best MBA college, right?
Very true.
So the problem is with money and education, which is kind of very vulnerable, but very impactful two things in our life. We never take advice from anybody. For us,
which is very important.
Which is very important, right? For example, if you go to Europe or if you go to the US, you can see financial planners, right? You can see educational counselors there who will help you to understand what you are good at, what are the skills that is required. Everybody is running behind computer science, but how many of them can study computer science? How many of them have the skills for computer science? So I think that we need to have that ecosystem where students are guided, they are guided into the right places, and the institutions who aspires to come to the top or become a preferred choice for the parents and for the students need to start thinking out of the box. That is very important, because I can this is going on the records, and I can tell you that the recruitment or the placement or the employability will be restricted to the top IITs, top NITs, and the regionally top government and the private colleges.
So game is very simple. Either be on the top,
or else go repeat, put in more effort, try to get into the college next year, but then don't settle down for mediocrity, because mediocrity doesn't have a space anymore in this ecosystem.
Agreed. Now, just moving ahead with the next agenda. Higher educations, MTech, MBA. I've heard few students saying that let me work for a few time, let me have some experience, then we will see that I'll do an MBA on the go, maybe after 2 years or 3 years. How do you suggest that? What's your suggestion on that? Should be an MBA after a degree? Should they work? Should they come back? What's your take on that discussion?
See, it's very personal, Samarth. It doesn't come because of any structured logic or anything. I would rather directly go for an MBA after my graduation, because one reason is if I am preparing for CAT, it organically helps me to get into that learning curve and prepare myself without a break. Right, I mean a 2 year, 3 year.
Still, we continue that studious mind setup.
Absolutely, because I'm in that framework, right?
Correct.
And it just becomes easy for me, because for me at that point of time, everything is working like a well-oiled machine, without any sort of disruptions, right? I don't have any extrinsic motivator like a money, salary, nothing. Because you understand, right, when you start working and you get your 50,000, 60,000, it becomes very difficult for you to sacrifice that and then come back for something like an MBA.
I know.
Yeah. So as I said earlier, this is the caveat that there are no logic to it, but I sincerely feel that you directly go for your CAT preparation and then you directly go for your MBA. Yes. Now, if somebody is working in an organization and that person is a technically very strong person who would like to upskill, who would like to upskill or who would like to change domains. Maybe I started working in a company as a mechanical engineer, and I found my interest in HR, or I found my interest in supply chain management, or I found my interest in marketing, right? I want to upskill, and I want to probably learn about it technically. and then find my career in that domain, of course, I can come back and I can definitely do it. That makes sense.
Okay.
Right? And it definitely gives you a better perception also. So I don't think there is a sort of a one solution for this. It totally depends upon an individual's preference and choice.
Now, once again, $1 million question. I might be repeating this question. How a student will realize that this is my career, this is my path? I don't know. I have gone through this confusion, and everybody, my audience also are going through this confusion. How do you decide that that's my career, that's my path? Is there any formula for this?
I think you need, again, you can only connect the dots, right? When you are doing engineering, I'm just giving an example,
Yes.
right? So it's a natural choice for anybody who completes their 12th standard, and either you get into medicine or engineering, but mostly medicine, but then you get into your BBA, BCom and everything, right? For example, if you are doing your engineering, pay close attention to all the subjects that is being taught to you. Sometimes, you might have that one interest or sort of an inclination towards that one subject. So for example, if I'm doing engineering and I'm interested in industrial engineering or principles of management, I don't know if these papers are being taught now.
It's been taught.
Yeah, principles of
POM.
management. Yeah, correct.
Principles of
management. Then I should connect the dots, and I should think that, hey, listen, you know what, my calling is actually management.
Okay.
So when you are studying, right, even in your 10th or 11th or your 12th, pay close attention to those subjects, where you have that interest. You want to listen to this professor, right? Naturally, you want to study that. For example, I did my graduation in computer application, but my favorite subjects were accountancy. Right? Because I liked the idea of balance sheet. Like I liked the idea of number crunching. I liked the idea of profit and loss. Right? So I understood that, oh no, so this is computer application is not my cup of tea, right? So I think you need to pay very close attention to what you do, and find that one subject or one theme or one domain where you have very close interest or a natural sort of a flair, and I think that should be your calling.
Now, continuing this question from a student point of view, there are n number of skills. Now, we try to differentiate between skills are important, marks are important, all those things. But once I acquired that skills, do you think testing that skill before going into any job is required?
I think it does, right? I mean, see, for example, if you look at most of the recruiters these days, they are not really bothered about resumes anymore. I mean, gone are those days when people are looking at resumes. People are looking at portfolios now.
Now, the reason why I'm asking is, be a certified digital marketer at $499. I finished the course in 3 months. Now I feel that I'm a full-time digital marketer. Then I get into an interview and said, what do you have? I'm a digital marketer. What have you done? I finished this course. So how can we test it? Is there any way how I can do it and then get into that or something?
The audience who is watching your show right now, they are not experts of what we are talking.
Okay.
So let's keep it at very layman's explanation, right? If your daughter is getting married and you want to hire a photographer, are you going to look at the resume and the certificate?
I would look at the photos.
You want to see
past photos.
Correct, because that's an indication of what this person is capable of. You want to hire a makeup artist. Are you going to go with somebody who is certified? No. You are definitely going to see his past work.
Works.
You go to the gym and you want to work with a personal trainer, right? Obviously, you're going to go back and see the transformations that he has done. So demonstrate your skills. See, portfolio, for example, why LeetCode or why GitHub has gained so much of prominence, or for example, for MBA students, why Notion as a website is gaining so much of prominence is because recruiters are more and more inclined towards portfolios now. They want to see.
The reason why I am trying to ask this question is because I am trying to connect with my next question, that how important is an internship for a student? Because there are some universities where internship may not be a compulsory one, but we believe that internship is must. So what do you think, what role does an internship play in a student career? It might be graduate, undergraduate, postgraduate, anywhere.
See, the idea of internship, right? See, the idea of internship germinated because companies wanted to test the students before they hire them and start investing their time, effort, and money.
Istamal karo,
Correct. So right now, I think most of the companies are moving into that direction.
Okay.
Though they hire these students through the interview, they give them the offer letter, they still don't say congratulations. They're like, we have given you the offer letter, now you come and work with us for 6 months.
We will test you.
Correct. Show us how capable you are, and then we will take you in. So for example, if you look at the top institutions like IIT and NITs, they have this system of pre-placement offer. So for example, you take a company like Goldman Sachs, they have their global capability center in India. So they go to these big colleges during the pre-final year, they conduct their internship interview, they hire these students, and then they are given the internship opportunity, and then the pre-placement offer is being floated for these students. So for me, that is the idea of internship. Now, with the other side of internship is where you have made it mandatory as part of the curriculum where the colleges and the university is saying, go get some experience from certain companies so that you can have something concrete and credible on your resume. Now, the problem is, for example, I am an MBA finance student, right?
Okay.
Companies don't give me access to their financial documents. It's confidential. Right. I mean, they are not going to give me entry into their department, right?
Until and then you are a full-time employee.
Absolutely. Suppose I'm a mechanical engineer, correct? Now, look at the supply in the market for the mechanical engineers and the MBAs, and correct. So I have seen many students come back and tell me that, sir, we are finding it difficult to get internship opportunities, right?
Agreed.
So the thing is, I think the industries will have to open up a bit. I think that is very important, right? I mean, they also have to be slightly generous. I think in a buzzing market like Mangalore, which is evolving, and there's a lot of promise for Mangalore at this point of time because of these big companies mushrooming, and so I think the industry will have to definitely open their doors. And if that is the case, then I think as you asked, internship will give them the exposure of what does it take to be part of a company, right? But as I said, for organizations, it is to test the capability.
Okay.
But for an educational perspective and a university perspective, it is to give exposure to the students. And I think because of these differently aligned meaning for the same terminology is causing a lot of confusion in the system, is what I feel.
As you use the term, educational institutions are mushrooming up. Kids are getting their higher degrees, postgraduate, internship. There are lakhs of students entering into the market with all those things what we said. But still, I do see there are a lot of students struggling to get right kind of a job. What could be the reason? Anything that you want to throw light on this?
Because they're not good at it.
Oh, straight away to the point.
It is as blunt as it could be, right? Because they are not good at it. See, if you are not good at something, how can you ever find an opportunity, right? See, again, when you say you need to be good, that means you need to evolve. And so again, there is no formula to finding an employment, right? I mean, you have to evolve unless and until, for example, right now everybody is talking about AI replacing entry-level jobs, right? Now,
that's oftenly I keep listening.
Correct.
It's a job killer.
That is definitely going to happen, right? But the thing is, the broader aspects of computer science engineering will definitely have the opportunity. For example, the architecture, the system design, correct? So the entry-level jobs will be made in accordance with system design or cloud architecture. Now, you cannot take it for granted that, okay, I have been doing problem solving DSA for the last so many years, and that will help me to get jobs. No, that is not going to happen. So, for example, again, I think this will be a game changer show for a lot of people. So in India, there is a age-old debate that companies like TCS and Infosys, they have not hiked their entry-level salary. Correct.
I keep on listening.
Yeah, so it is at 3.5, 3.6 lakh.
Correct.
I even heard a leading news channel in India running a 6-minute news piece saying that
when XYZ are giving a fancy salary, still the old companies are
correct.
still on the same thing.
Correct. But how many of these people know about the fact that companies like TCS and Infosys have created differential packages in the last 6 to 7 years? So for example, you take a company like TCS, of course their entry level is 3.5, 3.6, but they have something like a TCS Digital at 7. They have something called a Prime at 9. They have something called Innovator at 11.
Okay.
There is, of course, Infosys starts at 3.5, but they have something like a digital specialist engineer for 7, power programmer at 9. So what the companies are saying is, see, if you are that good, come take this. Come take this. We are not stopping you from doing it. For example, there is a hack with Infi. There is a TCS Code Vita. Crack it. Why you are not able to doing it, and why on the other side you are sitting and lamenting about why salaries are not being hiked. So if you want, see, it's very simple, Samarth. You want a job, any job, you need to be good at it.
The best in it.
You need to be good at it. There is absolutely no compromise. See, I'm sitting here doing a certain job, right? Why would your people listen to me? Because I have to be good in what I do. If I'm not making sense to them, they will close this and they will switch to something else. Their favorite reel is waiting for them somewhere. Correct. So you are a teacher, right?
Agree.
Now you need to be good at what you do, and you need to evolve also.
And these days, where students can change the whole situation in their fingertips, no, next.
Correct.
Attention spans are changing like in a second.
Correct.
And as a teacher, I know the difficulties of holding their attention for 45 to 50 minutes. It's difficult.
Correct. You need to be good at what you do. I mean, see, for example, the classic example is you take the most fancy thing in India, Indian cricket team. There are only 11 positions.
I know.
1 wicket keeper, 5 bowlers, probably 5 batsmen, 1 wicket keeper, and probably 5 bowlers. There are only 11 positions, right? You need to be good at it. Yeah, and so your talent matters, your hard work, your commitment, your sincerity, your consistency. Of course, a bit of luck matters. I wouldn't deny that.
That answers many questions, like he is doing excellent in an IPL season, but why is it not there in Indian cricket team?
Maybe the kind of job that I do, maybe there are so many other people who can do it as good as me or better than me. But maybe I was lucky enough, right? Maybe somebody else who is doing much better than me. Maybe I might be better than the other person, but he is in a better position, right? So the thing that you can do is, if you believe in God, pray to your God that just make me good at what I want to do,
and work towards it.
Work towards it. So see, that is where your choice of what you want to do becomes very, very important, Samarth. That's what I said earlier. Do you have a natural flair? Do you have a natural skill to do that? Correct. For example, you take MBA. Your English has to be good.
Agreed.
Correct. I mean, you cannot come and do MBA with broken English, or your.
People have ideas, but until and then if they are not able to showcase or exhibit their ideas,
Absolutely.
what's the point?
If you are an engineer, basic is mathematics.
Agreed.
Basic is English communication. You score shoddy, marks in mathematics. Still expect to come and do engineering and find a job. Does it even make sense? Right? You can't speak 4 sentences together in English, without making a mistake. And then you expect to do MBA.
Somewhere the parents needs to be take a rational call. Because my neighbor's son is an engineer, so he will continue the engineering. My elder son's books are getting waste, so you also do an engineering. I think we have to go beyond that and take a rational decision.
See, I think the stakeholders will have to come together. I mean, I think the owners.
And of course, we'll have a debate on this some other day.
Yeah. See, again, I'm not putting all the blame on the students. Okay. Maybe I think it is also the responsibility of the schools where they go, right? The stakeholders. It starts from there. The government is definitely a part of it, right? See, for example, most of the states, they have got vernacular government medium schools. Correct. I mean, I appreciate that idea, right? But the problem is, you study in a vernacular medium for good 12 to 14 years of your life, and you are directly put into something like an engineering, which is totally English medium.
Different.
I mean, because see, I've confronted those situations with students where people have come from the vernacular medium and they have struggled.
I know.
They've struggled with engineering, they've struggled with MBA, and you feel for the kids, right?
Correct.
Definitely, you feel bad for them, but then you can't help it. So the stakeholders will also have to take responsibility of it and ensure that the right thing is done at the right time.
Agreed.
Yeah, I think that is very important. I mean, we have 15 lakh schools in India. More than that, I think. China has only got 5 lakhs.
Oh.
Yeah, like probably 3 times more than China, right? But the thing is quality. Quality. I mean, we don't need volume. Same goes for engineering, MBA. I don't know whether I'm making a very strong statement here, but universities will have to check the fitnesses of colleges before they start approving, or schools again, before they start approving.
I should agree with this point as being a teacher sometimes.
Yeah.
So as we are moving towards an end, to all my viewers, to all my students, to all those young entrepreneurs, can you list some habit of a good student? What kind of habits should differentiate that student as a good when compared to rest? What kind of habits we should keep developing?
I think self-learning and self-motivation.
Mm-hmm.
I think it starts from there.
Mm-hmm.
I think everything else will come into place only after you find that inner motivation to do what you want to do. I recently was watching the interview of the kid who scored the All India Entrance Rank 1 in JEE exam. I think it was 200 out of 200 something. Kabir, his name is Kabir Chiller. And he, in one of his interviews, he said, I don't have Instagram, I don't have WhatsApp. Now nobody forced him to do it. He gave it up.
The focus.
Correct. So he's like, the 3-4 friends that I have, even they don't have it. Now we can sit here and make fun of these kids, saying
but
that
he knew what he wanted.
We can say that they don't have a life, they're just restricted to books and everything. But if you want to perform at that level, that is the sort of sacrifice that you need to make. And I think that will happen only if you have that self-learning, self-motivated sort of a trait or a quality. I think that's what really differentiates. I think that's for the starter.
Okay.
Starter. I think the next is the curiosity factor. That I come to a great college. For example, I come to a college like Sahyadri. I'm sitting in Samarth's class and you're taking marketing for me and you're talking about consumer behavior, right? I have to go back to YouTube and start finding more about consumer behavior. That is my curiosity.
We cannot define the whole subject in 30-40 minutes.
Correct. So whatever I learn from you, I should be able to go and start working it on myself. So that is my curiosity, right? So you need to have certain curiosity. That is very, very important. Then I think, as I said earlier, your ability to connect the dots. I call that happy accidents. And I don't know how you can. Are you blessed with it or are you trained in it? I don't know that. But I think that connecting the dots is something that you learn from your network that you find in the college through the various experiences that you have in a system like a college. I think that connecting the dots is also very, very important for successful students at the right time, how they are able to deliver it. Correct. Yeah. So I think these 3 qualities are very important, that self-motivated, self-learning, curiosity, and the ability to connect the dots.
So as we come towards the end of the show, last questions that I want to put across from parents' point of view. As many education institutions are available in our societies, there are a lot of differentiating factors from one university to other, to college to other. One of the greatest differentiating factors are fees sometimes. Certain universities, they feel that it is higher cost, lesser cost. Do you think price should be an factor to decide? I don't know. It's just a question because I heard parents saying that college is expensive, this college. So I answered it saying, if you want to get the best, sometime pay the best. I don't know. What's your point on that?
Okay. So, see, again, it goes like you buy a BMW, you get the features of BMW, right? You buy a Maruti, you get the features of Maruti. Now, you can't buy a Maruti and expect a BMW pleasure in it.
I understand.
But having said that, BMW does deliver what BMW promises.
I agree.
Correct. So if a college is charging so much, for example, you take the top B schools in India. I'm talking about the black, the Bangalore, Lucknow, Ahmedabad, Calcutta, and Kozhikode, right?
Yes.
I think including all your academic, miscellaneous, hostel fees and everything, the average fees comes around 32 to 35 lakhs in most of the top B schools. The average salary is also somewhere around 25 lakhs in these colleges. Now, from a ROI return on investment point of view, I can spend 30 to 35 lakhs. So when an institution is setting up that benchmark for your fees, you should also ask yourself as an institution, what is it that I am able to give back to the students?
Agree.
The parents need to ask this question. If I am spending my 10 lakhs, what are the possibility that my son or daughter will get a job which can probably give me a better ROI? That is very important. Having said that, you cannot go and take admission in a college to get a job. A good college can only give you great opportunities. It cannot give you great placements. Like I have been associated with the MBA department.
Wanted to ask that and you answered it right away.
Yeah, no, because see, I have been part of Sahyadri for the last almost 10 to 11 years with MBA, right? I have seen students get jobs in Goldman Sachs. I have seen students work with KPMG. I have seen students work with EY. Correct. But then we were not able to put everybody in Goldman Sachs. We were not able to put everybody in EY or a KPMG.
Only those students were able to prove.
Correct. But then see, that is the promise of the BMW. Right? That see, we delivered the opportunity which could have probably got you a better ROI. Now, whether you made use of that is beyond our control. So for me, the fees will be justified from the institution's point of view if they can justify the ROI. From the parents' point of view, they need to think that if I am making this investment, is this going to give me the right ROI after 2 years or 4 years? Based on your ROI, you need to take a call whether you want to put your son or daughter in that particular institution or not. That's what I feel. Because India is a market where, just like cars, just like any other product, you will find educational degrees at any price range possible.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Renjit Keshav, for sharing your valuable insight. Thank you so much for making this confused or a myth-based conversation into a simple enough to understand, just like a whole theory was explained in like a car market, like BMW and Marutis. I think the discussion was very necessary at this point of time, where a lot of people talk a lot of myths about online courses are enough, why degree, why this fees, what is important, what is not important. Thank you so much for breaking all these myths. Thank you for making us really clear that be the best in what you're doing, or else you cannot succeed whatever you want to do in your life. Thank you once again. Thank you, Renjit Keshav. Thank you so much. Amidst your busy schedule, you made a time to come here and help and listen and give your valuable insight, share your experiences through what you have earned throughout your years of experience. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I hope my all listeners, all my viewers have gained lot from this conversation. So if you have any doubts, if you have any queries to the sir or to us, please comment on this videos or something. We can definitely get back to you on the same, and just wait until and for the next episode. Thank you so much.
Rapid fire.
I wanted.
Start. Go.
It's not easy to catch you, Renjit, every time. So now I've got hold of you. Let's go through a small rapid fire round. I'll give you 5 questions. You have to choose only one out of 2 options that I give you.
As long as there is a gift hamper, I'm fine with it.
Definitely. Let's say choose one of these options. Okay, degree or skill.
Degree and skills.
Government job or a private job. No, one.
Private jobs, because you don't get pensions anymore. I think it's only contributory pension. I think I'll probably go with but I think private jobs also. Can I say self-employed?
Okay, I'll keep that option also. How about startups or a stable career?
I think a stable career in the beginning and then a startup.
Well said.
Yeah.
India or abroad?
Any day India. Because I've been born, bred. I've worked here all my life. I've made the best out of the opportunities in our country. I never really had to go out anywhere. Though I had many ample opportunities to go abroad, I never really wanted to do it. I wanted to stay here and make it big.
Passion or salary?
Salary to pursue passion.
Well said.
That's very important, because Monday to Friday, do the shittiest job in the world, make your salary, go and pursue your passion on Saturday and Sunday with the money. Because not everybody is lucky enough to find your profession as your passion. I think it's very good to read it on Instagram reels and templates, but I think when it comes to practicality, I think you have to do the kind of things that you don't generally like to do. But I think if it is good enough to supplement, see what I am doing, I may not like it after a point, right? But then the money that I get from this is good enough to supplement my passion. So yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.